Have you ever found yourself in a situation where everyone around you seemed to miss something, but you noticed it immediately? Maybe it was a small detail in a conversation, a shift in someone's mood, or even a hidden opportunity in your surroundings. It could have been a seemingly ordinary moment, yet something about it stood out to you while others overlooked it completely. Think about a time when you were able to see beyond what was right in front of you, when others were too distracted to notice. Maybe it was a clue in a conversation that revealed more than what was spoken, or perhaps a detail in a person's body language that told a story much deeper than the words they said. These moments of insight can feel special, almost like a secret power we all have the potential to tap into. But why is it that some people seem to see things that others miss? And more importantly, how can we all learn to develop this skill of seeing what others overlook? The ability to notice what others miss is not just about basic observation. It's a much deeper skill that involves tuning into the details of life, listening closely, and perceiving things on a level that goes beyond the surface. It's about honing your awareness and learning to pick up on the subtleties, nuances, and hidden truths in everyday interactions, environments, and situations. While others might glance over things, it's the ability to notice what's happening beneath the surface that sets certain people apart. This skill isn't just about what we see with our eyes. It's about what we feel, understand, and intuitively grasp about the world around us. Whether in relationships, work, or our personal growth, the ability to see beyond what's immediately obvious can make a significant difference in how we experience and engage with life. In many ways, it's about developing a deeper sensitivity to the world around us. People who can see what others overlook tend to be more in tune with the underlying patterns and hidden messages in their environment. They understand that things are not always what they seem at first glance, and they have a natural curiosity that drives them to dig deeper and look closer. In this video, I'm going to help you explore this fascinating concept of seeing what others overlook. More importantly, I want to show you how you can become more observant and aware in your own life. Being more observant doesn't just mean paying attention to the obvious. It's about training yourself to notice the little details that others might miss. It's about developing an enhanced awareness that can improve your relationships, help you identify opportunities, and give you a deeper understanding of your surroundings. I'll walk you through practical steps you can take to start becoming more attuned to what's happening around you. We'll also talk about why this skill is so important and how it can lead to personal growth and success. Whether it's in a conversation where you pick up on what's left unsaid, or in your career, where noticing small details can make a big difference, seeing beyond the surface can unlock a new level of insight. By the end of this video, I want you to understand not just how to notice the details that others overlook, but also why this ability is so powerful in your day-to-day life. You'll see that it's not about being special, it's about being present and aware. In a world where so much is missed or ignored, the ability to truly see is a game changer. So, stay tuned as we dive into the art of seeing what others miss and discover how it can transform the way you live, work, and relate to those around you. Have you ever noticed someone who seems to always catch things that others completely miss? Whether it's in a conversation, a meeting, or even a casual interaction, there's always that person who is keenly aware of the smallest details. The kind of person who can sense when something is off, even when nothing obvious stands out. You may have found yourself thinking, how do they notice that? Or, why didn't I see that? This ability to pick up on what others overlook is often considered a gift. But is it truly something that only certain people are born with, or can it be learned? Is it a natural talent, or is it a skill that anyone can develop with time and practice? In this section, we'll dive deeper into whether this unique ability to see beyond is something inherent, or whether it's something that can be honed over time. We'll explore both perspectives, the idea that some people may be born with an innate ability to notice the world differently, and the possibility that with practice, anyone can train themselves to develop this heightened sense of awareness. It's often said that some people are simply born with a sharp eye or innate sense of perception. They seem to effortlessly see what others miss, Whether it's a subtle change in someone's mood, a small detail in a piece of work, or an opportunity that's hidden in plain sight. For these people, noticing the world on a deeper level feels almost second nature. They seem to have an uncanny ability to see patterns and make connections that others just don't. This natural ability is often linked to personality traits, such as heightened curiosity, sensitivity, or attentiveness. For instance, some individuals are naturally drawn to observe everything around them, constantly processing details and trying to make sense of their surroundings. These people tend to be naturally observant, often noticing the smallest shifts in behavior, tone, or context. They might even have an emotional intelligence that helps them perceive not just what people say, but what they don't say, and that's a powerful skill in its own right. Take, for example, the case of Leonardo da Vinci, one of the most renowned polymaths in history. Da Vinci wasn't just an artist. He was an inventor, a scientist, and an observer of the natural world in a way that few others were during his time. He was particularly gifted at noticing things that many others would have easily overlooked. His famous sketches of human anatomy, for example, were based on his meticulous observations of the human body, which he studied with unparalleled attention to detail. Da Vinci didn't just look at the body, he saw its inner workings, its structure, its purpose. This innate curiosity and sharp observational skills allowed him to innovate across disciplines in a way that few others could. He didn't rely on the conventional knowledge of his time. Instead, he paid close attention to the world around him, interpreting and questioning everything he saw. Similarly, Albert Einstein, the famous physicist, was not just a brilliant mind in the field of theoretical physics. He was also someone who looked at the world differently. His ability to think beyond what was considered conventional allowed him to ask questions that others had never thought to ask. Einstein's approach to physics was not just based on calculations, but on a deep, intuitive understanding of the universe. His groundbreaking theory of relativity, for instance, was based on observations and insights that only someone with a unique way of seeing could make. The question is, are these kinds of abilities just inherent in people like Da Vinci or Einstein, or are they the result of something more? While it's easy to romanticize the idea of being born with a unique gift, the reality is that the ability to see beyond the obvious is also something that can be developed over time. In fact, many of the most perceptive people in history didn't simply rely on their innate abilities. They actively honed their skills through practice, awareness, and deep analysis. The idea that perceptiveness is a talent or something that can be cultivated over time is one that can be empowering. It suggests that anyone, regardless of their natural abilities, can develop this skill. For those looking to improve their ability to see what others overlook, practice is key. Just like any other skill, the more you engage with the world around you and pay attention to the small details, the better you get at it. The key is not just to observe, but to actively engage with what you're seeing. Ask questions, analyze situations, and seek deeper meaning in the things that might seem insignificant at first glance. Over time, this constant engagement trains the mind to notice things that others might pass over. One of the best examples of a learned skill in action comes from the field of meditation. Meditation trains the mind to become highly attuned to what is happening in the present moment. People who meditate regularly are able to observe the smallest thoughts and emotions that arise within them, noticing patterns and connections that would typically go unnoticed. This mindfulness can translate into everyday life, helping individuals become more perceptive in their interactions with others and more aware of the nuances in their surroundings. In fact, mindfulness and meditative practices have been shown to improve one's ability to see details that others miss. For example, a study in 2015 found that participants who practiced mindfulness were better at noticing subtle changes in their environment compared to those who didn't engage in mindfulness practices. The ability to focus your attention and truly listen and observe without judgment or distraction enhances your capacity to pick up on the subtle details that are often missed by others. Another example comes from the art of listening. People who are excellent listeners often notice things that others don't. Not just the words being spoken, but the tone, the pauses, the underlying emotions, and the body language that accompanies the conversation. These are learned skills, developed through years of practice and patience. Good listeners become adept at picking up on cues and signals that others may overlook, and they do so not by magic, but by training themselves to be present and aware in every interaction. Let's consider the case of Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. While Jobs is often admired for his innovative ideas, his ability to perceive what others missed played a crucial role in Apple's success. Jobs didn't just see the technology that was available at the time. He saw what could be, even when no one else did. One example of this was his insistence on simplicity and beauty in Apple's design. While many of his competitors were focused on creating more complex devices, Jobs was able to see the potential for a clean, user-friendly interface. His vision was rooted in his ability to observe what people needed but couldn't yet articulate, and he used this insight to design products that revolutionized the tech industry. Jobs didn't just have an innate sense of innovation, he actively cultivated a mindset that allowed him to observe and understand things from a different perspective. He understood that creativity and innovation are not just about seeing things differently, they're about training yourself to notice things that others are too busy to see. Whether the ability to see beyond is an innate talent or a learned skill, there's no denying that it's an essential trait for those looking to gain deeper insights and create meaningful impact in their lives. Some people may have a natural inclination toward noticing the unseen, but anyone can learn to sharpen their perceptive abilities with practice. By developing your awareness and curiosity, you can start to see things others miss, and in turn, you'll unlock a whole new level of understanding in your personal and professional life. Whether you're naturally observant or looking to develop this skill, the key is to cultivate the mindset and habits that encourage attentiveness to the world around you. So, ask yourself, how can you begin to notice the details that others overlook today? In a world that moves fast and is often overwhelmed with noise and distractions, it's easy to overlook the small details. Yet, these seemingly insignificant moments or observations can hold the key to a better understanding of our lives, our relationships, and even our future opportunities. Whether in our personal lives or professional careers, the ability to notice what others miss can have a profound impact. Have you ever heard someone say, "It's the little things that matter"? It's a phrase that might sound simple, but it's rooted in the truth that small details often carry big meaning. The ability to see beyond the surface and recognize what others overlook is not just a skill, it's a powerful tool that can improve your communication, build stronger relationships, and even help you find opportunities that others may not see. In this section, we will explore why seeing beyond the obvious is so important and how it can transform both your personal and professional life. We'll discuss how noticing small details can enhance your ability to communicate effectively, solve problems, and create opportunities. Ultimately, we'll demonstrate how this ability can lead to breakthroughs and personal growth, giving you the tools you need to make a meaningful impact on the world around you. Communication is often seen as simply exchanging information, but it's much more than that. When you truly listen and observe, you gain access to a wealth of unspoken information. It's in the body language, the tone of voice, the pauses, and the subtle changes in expression. These are the details that often go unnoticed, but they hold important messages. When you are able to see what others overlook in communication, it allows you to understand others more deeply. People may not always say what they mean, or they may hide their true feelings beneath the surface. It's through keen observation that you can read between the lines and understand what is not being said outright. For example, imagine a colleague at work who seems frustrated but hasn't expressed it directly. The words they use may sound fine, but their tone and body language suggest something different. Perhaps their posture is closed, their face tense, or they seem distracted. By noticing these small, subtle signals, you can offer support or address the issue before it becomes a larger problem. You may even help that colleague open up about something they were hesitant to express. In everyday conversations, being able to observe these small details gives you a greater ability to connect with people. It allows you to build trust and empathy, which are essential for forming strong, lasting relationships. People feel understood when they know you can see beyond the surface, and they are more likely to open up to you because they feel safe and heard. The ability to read nonverbal cues also enhances conflict resolution. When you understand the underlying emotions of a situation, you can approach problems with more sensitivity, leading to solutions that satisfy all parties. In contrast, those who miss these details may find themselves in misunderstandings or conflicts that could have been avoided. In the workplace, seeing beyond the obvious can be a game changer. Recognizing small opportunities or catching crucial details that others miss can help you stay ahead of the competition and create breakthroughs. It's often these small, overlooked opportunities that lead to the biggest innovations or improvements. For example, in business, spotting a small but crucial detail about a client's needs or preferences can be the key to securing a new deal or strengthening a relationship. This could be as simple as noticing that a client has mentioned their interest in a particular service but hasn't yet taken the steps to pursue it. By paying attention to this small hint, you can bring it up at the right moment and offer a solution that adds real value. Similarly, in a team setting, small details in project development can be overlooked when the focus is solely on the bigger picture. However, recognizing a flaw in the initial stages of a project or identifying a potential issue early on can prevent larger problems down the road. It's these moments of foresight that can save time, resources, and ensure that the team remains on track. People who can see beyond the obvious tend to be innovators. They look at challenges from different angles and approach problems creatively. This ability to spot patterns and opportunities where others see none is often what sets successful entrepreneurs and leaders apart. Instead of following the established path, they look for new and improved ways of doing things, ways that others may not even consider because they're too focused on what's in front of them. Moreover, noticing small details in your work can lead to personal growth. When you pay attention to feedback, the dynamics in the office, or the subtle shifts in your industry, you gain insights that can guide your career decisions, whether it's understanding market trends or knowing when to take on new responsibilities. These small details help you navigate your career with greater precision. Let's consider the story of Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, a company that revolutionized the world of women's apparel. Blakely didn't come from a background in fashion, nor did she have connections in the industry. But she noticed a small detail that no one else did, and it changed everything for her. While working as a saleswoman, Blakely was frustrated by the lack of comfortable, flattering undergarments available for women. She realized that the existing products didn't provide the support and smoothness that women were looking for. At the time, women's shapewear was either too uncomfortable or too bulky. Blakely saw an opportunity where others saw nothing more than a gap in the market that no one had yet addressed. She took that small realization and turned it into a business, creating Spanx, a company that would eventually be valued at billions of dollars. Her ability to see beyond the current options and recognize the unmet need was a turning point that led to her success. In this case, noticing a small detail about the discomfort and limitations of existing products led to a breakthrough idea that ultimately disrupted the entire industry. Another example is Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks. Schultz noticed something that no one else had. Coffee in the U.S. wasn't just about the drink, it was about the experience. While traveling in Italy, he was struck by the culture of the coffee shop, a place for people to gather, relax, and enjoy the ambiance. In America, coffee was typically consumed on the go, without any sense of community or experience attached to it. By seeing this, Schultz was able to transform Starbucks from a small coffee bean retailer into the global coffeehouse brand it is today. His ability to recognize the value of experience over product, a small detail that many overlooked, became the foundation of Starbucks' success. In both cases, Blakely and Schultz demonstrated the power of seeing beyond what was immediately in front of them. They noticed the small, subtle details that others missed, and those details led to massive innovations that changed industries. The ability to see beyond the obvious is one of the most powerful tools you can develop, both in your personal relationships and professional life. By noticing the small details, you gain deeper insights into the world around you, and those insights can lead to better communication, stronger relationships, and bigger opportunities. Whether it's understanding a colleague's unspoken frustration, spotting a gap in the market, or identifying a potential issue early on in a project, seeing beyond the surface is what helps you stay ahead of the game. It's in these small, often overlooked details that you'll find the key to success. So, next time you're in a conversation or facing a challenge, take a moment to look closer. Listen carefully and ask yourself, what am I missing? The answer may just unlock a whole new world of possibilities. The ability to see beyond the obvious is not something that can be achieved overnight. It's a skill that takes time, effort, and consistent practice to develop. However, the good news is that anyone can train themselves to notice the small details that often go unnoticed. Whether you want to improve your communication, solve problems more effectively, or gain a deeper understanding of the world around you, learning to see beyond the surface is a valuable skill. In this section, we'll explore several methods and techniques to help you develop the ability to see beyond the obvious in everyday life. We'll discuss how paying attention to the smallest details, focusing on non-verbal cues, and honing your critical thinking can significantly improve your perception. We'll also provide some practical exercises that you can implement to practice these skills and enhance your ability to notice what others might overlook. The first step in developing the ability to see beyond is to train your eyes and mind to observe the details in your environment. In our busy, fast-paced world, it's easy to overlook the small things. A subtle change in a friend's mood, a tiny discrepancy in a report, or even the body language of a colleague during a meeting. But these small details are often where the most significant insights lie. Practice observing everything around you carefully. Start by paying attention to the ordinary, everyday moments and interactions. For example, when you're having a conversation with someone, notice their body language, their posture, the pace of their speech, and even their eye contact. These are all crucial details that can tell you more about their emotions, thoughts, and intentions than their words alone. You can also apply this attention to detail to your environment. Look around you, whether at work, at home, or in public spaces, and start observing the things you usually ignore. Notice the little shifts in the atmosphere, the background noises, or the small actions that people take that might seem insignificant at first glance. Over time, this habit of paying attention will sharpen your awareness and allow you to notice details that others miss. Here's a simple exercise you can try. For the next week, choose one area of your life. It could be your workplace, a social gathering, or even your morning routine. Set the intention to observe everything more closely. Focus on small details that you usually overlook. At the end of the day, reflect on what you noticed that was new or different. This exercise will help you develop your observational skills and heighten your awareness of the world around you. One of the most powerful ways to see beyond the obvious is to pay attention to nonverbal cues, such as body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions. Often, people say one thing, but their body language or tone tells a different story. Recognizing and interpreting these nonverbal signals can provide you with deeper insights into a person's true thoughts or feelings. For example, when someone says, "I'm fine," but their shoulders are slumped, their arms are crossed, or they avoid eye contact, the words may not align with the body language. These subtle cues can reveal underlying emotions such as frustration, sadness, or discomfort that the person may not openly express. Learning to read body language and emotional signals allows you to understand people on a deeper level and connect with them more authentically. In addition to body language, tone of voice is another critical indicator. A person's tone can express a wide range of emotions, from anger to excitement, from nervousness to sincerity. Pay attention to the pitch, volume, and pace of their voice. A higher-pitched voice can indicate stress or excitement, while a slower, more deliberate tone may suggest thoughtfulness or hesitation. Feelings are also an essential part of this equation. Understanding the emotions behind someone's actions or words can help you see beyond the surface. People may not always say what they mean, but their emotions often guide their behavior. For example, a colleague who snaps at you during a meeting may be reacting to stress or feeling overwhelmed. By focusing on the feelings behind their words, you can respond with more empathy and understanding. To practice focusing on body language and feelings, try this exercise. The next time you have a conversation, pay close attention to the other person's non-verbal signals. Notice their posture, gestures, eye contact, and tone of voice. Try to interpret how they're feeling based on these cues, and then respond accordingly. This practice will help you become more attuned to the emotions and intentions of others, allowing you to see beyond the words they speak. Critical thinking is a crucial skill when it comes to seeing beyond the obvious. It involves questioning everything, not accepting things at face value, and seeking to understand the deeper reasons behind actions, behaviors, or situations. When you develop critical thinking skills, you stop simply reacting to what you see or hear. Instead, you take the time to analyze and evaluate the information before making judgments or conclusions. Question everything. When faced with a situation or piece of information, don't just accept it as truth. Ask yourself why it's happening, what might be hidden beneath the surface, and what other factors could be influencing the situation. Critical thinking challenges assumptions and helps you look beyond the immediate or superficial aspects of a problem. For example, imagine you're working on a team project, and a colleague presents a solution that seems too simplistic or doesn't address all the issues. Instead of accepting it without question, you can apply critical thinking by asking, what factors might this solution be overlooking? Or are there any alternative solutions we should consider? By questioning the initial approach and considering other perspectives, you open the door to more creative and effective problem solving. Analyze situations or behaviors. Look for patterns in the things you encounter, whether they're in the workplace, in conversations, or in your personal life. Ask yourself, what is motivating this behavior? What's the underlying cause of this issue? What are the possible long-term effects of this decision? By asking these questions, you can uncover hidden factors that may have been overlooked, giving you a more comprehensive understanding of the situation. One way to develop your critical thinking is through problem-solving exercises. Take a problem you've encountered, it could be a work-related challenge or something in your personal life, and break it down into its core components. Then, analyze each part and consider multiple solutions or perspectives. This practice encourages you to think deeply and consider various angles, helping you improve your ability to see beyond the obvious. To help you practice these skills, here are a few practical exercises and hypothetical situations you can use to develop your ability to see beyond. 1. Observation. Exercise. As mentioned earlier, choose a specific area of your life, work, social settings, or daily routine, and focus on observing the smallest details. Keep a journal and write down what you notice that you've never paid attention to before. Over time, you'll begin to notice more and more details that you might have missed in the past. 2. Role-playing. In a group setting, practice role-playing scenarios where you have to respond to subtle cues or unspoken emotions. For example, pretend you're in a business meeting where one of your colleagues seems disengaged. Pay attention to their body language and tone, and figure out how to address the situation based on these non-verbal cues. This will help you fine-tune your ability to respond appropriately to the subtle signs people give off. 3. Mindfulness meditation. Try incorporating mindfulness meditation into your daily routine. The practice of mindfulness involves paying full attention to the present moment without judgment. As you meditate, focus on your breath, sensations, and thoughts. allowing yourself to become more aware of your surroundings. This practice will train your mind to become more present and attuned to the smallest details in everyday life. 4. Critical thinking challenge. Find a current event or a problem in your life and apply critical thinking to analyze it. Break down the situation into its parts and think about possible alternative solutions or hidden influences. Ask yourself what you might be missing and how you can view the situation from different angles. This will help develop your analytical skills and broaden your perspective. Developing the ability to see beyond the obvious is a process that requires continuous effort and practice. By paying attention to the details, focusing on body language and emotions, and applying critical thinking, you can start to perceive things more deeply and gain valuable insights that others might miss. These techniques will not only improve your personal relationships and professional skills, but also enhance your overall awareness of the world around you. Remember, seeing beyond the obvious is not just about observing what's on the surface, it's about developing a mindset that seeks deeper understanding, values the small details, and recognizes the bigger picture. By practicing these techniques regularly, you can sharpen your perception and unlock new levels of insight and awareness. Throughout this video, we've explored the powerful skill of being able to see what others overlook and how it can significantly enhance both your personal and professional life. Whether it's noticing the small details in a conversation, spotting an opportunity others might miss at work, or simply understanding the unspoken emotions of the people around you, these insights can lead to better communication, stronger relationships, and even personal breakthroughs. We've learned that the ability to see beyond the obvious is rooted in observation, analysis, and perceptiveness. It's not just about looking, it's about truly observing what's happening beneath the surface. By training yourself to recognize the subtle cues in your environment, you can uncover hidden truths, identify opportunities, and connect with people on a much deeper level. This skill isn't something that happens overnight, but with consistent practice, anyone can sharpen their ability to notice the details that others miss. By being more observant, you can create meaningful opportunities and foster deeper, more authentic relationships. Whether you're in the workplace, in social settings, or navigating your personal life, these skills will help you stand out, solve problems more effectively, and communicate with greater empathy and understanding. Now, it's time to put this into practice. I encourage you to start developing your ability to see beyond the obvious today. Begin by focusing on the small details that you usually overlook in your daily interactions and surroundings. Make it a habit to observe, analyze, and question what's happening around you. Whether it's in a conversation, during a meeting, or in your everyday life, start noticing the subtle changes in tone, body language, and even the unspoken emotions of those around you. Look for the hidden patterns and opportunities that others might miss. The more you practice, the better you'll get at recognizing these details. And soon you'll be able to apply this skill in all areas of your life. I'd love to hear from you. Share your own stories in the comments below about times when you noticed something others overlooked. How did it help you? What impact did it have on your relationships or decision-making? Your experiences can inspire others to start developing their own observational skills. And don't forget to like and share this video if you found it helpful. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel for future videos. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing how you all start noticing the details that make all the difference.